Welcome to the In Shape Fitness Show. I'm Kim Watkins and I'll be your trainer. Today's workout is called a Barefoot Strength Workout. We do these every once in a while where we incorporate generally low impact exercises, though we do a little bit of jumping around here, and we really encourage you to do the workout without shoes on your feet. All right, that helps build strength in the little muscles that reside in your feet, and it also helps build strength up and through the ankle, the lower leg, and then lots of other stability, smaller stability muscles in your body. So let's get started. We're going to do a quick postural systems check. Make sure your back is straight, your chest is high, your abs are engaged, your tailbone is tucked in, and your feet are planted firmly on the floor, left, right, as balanced as possible, and make sure your toes don't turn out. Let's start with a jog in place or a march in place if you prefer not to jog, but you really want to get your heart rate up going, get the blood flowing a little bit here, and start pumping your arms forward and back. I'm going to start the clock for 30 seconds, and you are kicking those heels back. If you're jogging in place, make sure that you're really actively kicking those heels back, which helps send blood to the back of the leg, the hamstrings. And if you are marching, you want to lift the knee up to about hip level. Either way, keep going. You've got 8 more seconds. Very good. 3, 2, and 1. Now stand up really tall. Now, if you have good balance, I want you to plant your feet heel to toe. All right, staggered feet, heel to toe. Or you can stagger the toes of one foot next to the heel of the other if your balance isn't quite so good. And if you have terrible balance, just keep both feet planted firmly on the floor, touching each other. But your arms extend out to the sides with your palms facing down. And all you're going to do, this is the lighthouse. You are going to turn your head all the way to the right and then all the way to the left. Very simple ability to force your feet to grip the floor to help build stability in the small muscles of your feet, especially when you stagger your feet or go heel to toe. All right, go ahead and switch your feet if you are in that staggered or heel to toe position so that the other foot is towards the rear, and continue moving your head. What happens is that the movement of your head discombobulates your inner ear equilibrium, and that forces you to grip the floor with your toes a bit more, to really isometrically contract the muscles that are small, that reside and stabilize your ankles and your feet. All right. Now I want you to take a big step out with your right leg. Really giant step, like double shoulder width apart. Clasp your hands above your head, keeping your back straight. I want you to make a giant revolution with your fingertips, rotating your body down to the right, and then point your fingers towards the floor, and then lift up, completing the revolution towards the left. Okay, we're going to do this for 30 seconds as well. One more time, down to the right and up to the left. Now reverse directions. Remember, you're keeping your back straight. You don't want to bend and curve your spine. You want to hinge at your hips. Keep your back straight, down to the left, lifting up towards the right. And one last time, down to the left and up to the right. Very nice. All right. So this is sort of the warm-up, and we're going to get going a little bit more intensively now with a walking burpee. So you squat all the way down. You put your hands on the floor near your feet. Walk your legs all the way out. You should do it in one step, each if possible, 2 if necessary. But get your body out to push-up position where your shoulders line up with your hands and your body is in the plank position on your hands, like push-up start position. Then you bring your feet back in, and then you stand all the way up by contracting your glutes and pressing your heels into the floor. 30 seconds. Time starts now. Make sure that you get that butt down. You want to bend at your hips and at your knees. And you want to make sure that you are moving very deliberately, but with a little bit of power, right? Keep going. Finish the one that you're on. In fact, you can stay on the floor because the next move is a push-up. All right, you can do the push-ups on your knees if you want, or rather the bottom part of your quad, right? When you do push-ups on your knees, you still want to tuck your butt in so your body, your lower body really rests on that bottom part of your quad, of your thigh, than it does on your kneecap. But your hands are placed on the floor a little wider than your shoulders, but vertically in line with your shoulders. Now bend your elbows, lowering your body down, and then push back up. 30 seconds starts now. Don't even worry how many of these you're doing. 30 seconds of movement that's continuous is sufficient when you combine it with all of the other things that we're doing. So really don't focus on the number of push-ups that you're doing. It really doesn't matter. Now, if you're already strong and you're trying to achieve a particular number because you normally do a certain number of push-ups, that's a completely different situation. But generally speaking, if you're doing this workout, I assume that you don't have such a regular regimen that you're, counting repetitions in kind of an athletic training way. Okay, now we're going to go to mountain climbers. All right, so a mountain climber is where you're in push-up position the whole time. You're probably hating this position now because it is aggravating your tummy, right? It's a contraction, isometric contraction of all of the muscles around your core. That's why it's called a plank. It's so hard, but you want to keep it going here. We're going to stay with this position for mountain climbers, and then you're going to turn over. And then we're going to come back to this position for one other move after your next exercise after this. But mountain climbers are where you jump your feet forward and back at the same time. All right, do your best. Go ahead and get started. 30 seconds is going. And just keep those shoulders lined up with your hands. If you're sort of migrating backwards and your butt gets higher in the air as a result of that, then you disengage through the core, and the exercise is therefore not quite as effective. So you want to keep your heart rate up, which is what we're doing by moving your legs in this position. And of course, working your arms still, working your abs still, working your back still. Everything pretty much in motion at this point. All right, you can turn your body over and have a seat on your butt now. We're going to do something called a sculling crunch. And with the sculling crunch, you're going to put your hands on the floor with your fingers facing forward. Now you're going to bring your knees in towards your chest, lifting your feet up off the floor, and then straighten your legs out straight in front of your body. That's the sculling crunch. Now, if you need to modify this, let's go ahead and start the clock for 30 seconds, by the way. Modifications, you can lean back farther down onto your elbows, or you can move one leg at a time. Okay, so those are a couple of ways to make it a little bit easier, but your time is going. You're 10 seconds in, so don't lose any more time. Move regardless of what level you're sort of trying to achieve at this point. Just get going. You want to squeeze those tummy muscles. Squeeze, working the hips, working your abs. The sculling crunch is a really fabulous crunch, and you've only got 5 more seconds. All right, now turn your body back over to push-up position. We're going to do one other move in this position, and it's harder. It's called a mountain jumper. If you can't do this, just go back to the mountain climber version that you did before, whether you're walking your legs forward and back one at a time or jumping them at the same time. Either way, you can at least do one of those two if you can't do this move, which is to jump both feet in and then both feet back. Both feet in, both feet back. Mountain jumpers, time starts now. 30 seconds. Try to keep your butt down. The most important thing here is, there are 2 things. One, make sure that you're using the whole hand. Don't press into the floor with just the heel of your hand. You'll fatigue your wrist, and then you're not going to want to do anything. All right? So make sure you're doing that. And then the other thing is to make sure that vertically your shoulder lines up with your hands. 3 seconds, 2, and 1. Turn your body back to your butt. Now we're going to do another ab exercise called the Russian twist. All right, so I want you to lean back. Your heels are on the floor, knees bent, toes in the air. You're leaning back, and you're going to twist all the way to the right, then all the way to the left. Abs engaged the entire time. Okay? Very good. 30 seconds starts now. And you want to breathe here. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Your heart rate is probably still elevated from the mountain jumpers or the mountain climbers, whatever it was that you were doing before, which is good. You want to keep that elevated heart rate as long as possible. We're going to lie all the way down next and do a hip bridge. So really make sure that you're pushing yourself here last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, lie all the way back now. You are going into a hip bridge. So your arms are beside your body, hips come up into the air. And hold this position for a couple seconds. Just take a couple of deep breaths. Make sure your feet are straight. No toes turning out. You want your feet to be straight and you want your toes down. Okay. Now lower your hips and then exhale, lifting back up. And down and up. Let's go for 15 more seconds, moving in this position. And then we're going to do something that's even harder. Last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And now stay in the hip bridge position if you can. I busted my lip the other day, so I really feel like I have a little bit of a lisp. Apologies if my voice sounds a little funny today, but I really do have kind of a busted lip at the moment. So anyway, all right. So you're going to do something now called the Swiss hip extension. And that is really hard to say with my funky lip. So that's why I bring it up. Anyway, so now what you're going to do is you're going to be in your bridge. Your feet remain on the floor straight for now. But what's going to happen when I tell you to, you're going to lift your left knee straight up. You don't straighten the leg. You just bring the knee up, hinging at your hip. And then tap the toes of your left foot down for 15 seconds. All right, let's give that a try. Go ahead and give it a try now. 15 seconds is going. Knee up, tap your toes. Knee up, tap your toes. This is working the hip flexor on the right leg. All right, because it's supporting your entire body weight. Now let's switch to the other side. So now place your foot back down on the left side. Lift the right leg up. Same thing. Tap the toes down gently. 15 seconds. We have 4 exercises left. So you'll be easily out of here in 18, 19 minutes. In total, we're just under 14 minutes right now. And you've got 3 seconds more. And your hip extension is over. Now I want you to do the inversion plank shredder. So I want you to sit all the way up. Put your hands on the floor, fingers facing forward right next to your butt. Your legs are now straight. Now lift your hips up into the air. This is an inverted plank, inversion plank. Okay? It's an awkward position, right? Because your shoulders are typically rounded. You have probably a lot of time at your desk or behind the wheel of a car where your shoulders are forward. But your body's mechanics, the mechanical sort of nature of your anatomy is such that your hands and your shoulders should really be way back, lined up with your ears. So this contortion, which is what it probably feels like, is awkward, but it really helps realign you a little bit in terms of your posture. All right, now the shredder part of it is where you're going to bend your knees and you're going to sort of shift your body weight forward towards your butt, with your where your butt goes towards your heels, I guess, rather. And then straighten your legs, shifting your body weight back. All right, let's try that for 30 seconds. I know you're already fatiguing probably in this position. Once again, make sure that you don't press into the floor with just the heel of your hand. You want to use your entire hand here. This is the last exercise on the floor. and you are halfway finished with it. So we're going to stand up and finish with a couple of moves on your feet in less than 10 seconds. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Now stand up. Stand up, take a couple of deep breaths. We're going to start skipping. All right, this is a high knee skip, and it's a stationary skip because I talk about muscle maintenance and In Shape Fitness Show workouts being very, very stationary. I want you to be able to do them anywhere, but feel free to skip around a room or from room to room if you can hear me from wherever we are here with your computer. But definitely start skipping. Get that knee up, and as you lift up a knee, you hop on the other leg, right? You alternate. Your time is going. This is so good for your hips. This week, we talked a lot about hip strength. The newsletter article, our blog post was about the power of your pelvis and ways to increase the strength of your pelvis, that area of your body, the lower core, I guess some people call it. You really want to make sure that you maintain strength throughout that part of your body because it is really vital to your mobility, to good sex, to your energy level. Okay, now add a kick with the skip. So now it's a skip, kick. You're going to feel like a rocket. You're supposed to feel like a rocket here. So you lift up your knee and you kick out your foot while you hop on the other leg. Your time is going for 30 seconds. We're going to finish up with one more move after this one. So keep your breathing going in through your nose, out through your mouth. Keep the shoulders back. Keep your abs engaged. Last 10 seconds. Very nice. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now the last move, some bunny hops. I know. Make these as hard or as easy as you want them to be. Just a little bit of plyometrics added to all of our workouts, almost all of them, meant to help activate neurotransmitters that reside in your feet and that rely on a little bit of impact in order to be aware of what's happening in the body. All right, so you're hopping lightly on the balls of your feet, you're landing, and you're keeping your knees bent for shock absorption for your landing. Your abs remain engaged and your back is straight. Make sure you keep breathing. Again, this is coming out to be just over an 18-minute workout. Everybody has 18 minutes at least once or twice a week. So definitely find your way to a spot on the floor at least one other time before we come out with another new workout for next week. I'm Coach Kim from In Shape Fitness, and if you have any questions about this exercise routine or any other, please let us know. BodybyInShape.com is where our website address is. Our web address is bodybyInShape.com. You can find info about our team and connect with us in terms of our various communities. You can also still set up a free account and try out InMotionWorkouts.com. It will be free until it's not. We are so ready to launch the membership sort of part of the module, but just haven't done so yet. We have a few more testing things we have to take care of. So set up a free account, give it a try. InMotionWorkouts.com. Unlimited workouts, different various formulas, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of variations on the different routines that you can do. So give it a try. Let me know what you think and have a great week. I'll see you soon.